The Gila monster has claimed its second victim in nearly a century. On February 12th, Christopher Ward, 34, was admitted to the hospital, sustaining injuries from a bite from his pet Gila. 4 days later, he was pronounced dead. This is weird because Gila monsters, they are the largest venomous lizards native to the U.S., but they are surprisingly docile and low-paced, slow demeanor animals. Their venom, although it's potent, typically is not strong enough to kill a healthy, that's important, a healthy adult. So, what happened? Let's go back to February 12th. On February 12, 2024, Christopher Ward was in his home in Colorado, in his room, when his pet Gila monster latched onto his hand. Problem 1. Gila monsters are illegal to own in Colorado unless you have a zoological type facility and a permit. Chris had neither. Problem 2. According to Kevin Torregrossa, the curator of herpetology at Bronx Zoo, quote, "The lizards have short legs and stocky bodies, so they don't quickly scurry about. Instead, they meander and lumber around like a tortoise would," end quote. They primarily use their venom defensively, which means to get bitten, you have to either mishandle them, threaten them, or be plain unlucky. Or maybe, potentially, suffer a condition that would make you more vulnerable to it. Problem 3. Chris neglected to wear personal protective equipment, or PPE, while handling his venomous lizard. His girlfriend in the next room heard a strange noise, and upon entering his room, she saw the Gila monster gnawing on his right hand. 4.5 minutes later, the Gila monster let go, and Chris was exhibiting vomiting, sweating, and lapsing in and out of consciousness. 2 hours later, they sought medical attention. Problem 4. What would make someone delay medical attention? A possible reason is they knew the pet was illegal in their state and wanted to avoid giving up their pet. Another possible explanation is there are virtually no incidents of adults dying from Gila monster bites, so it's possible they wanted to wait it out since the probability of death at that time was low. Problem 5. Why did they allow the Gila monster to gnaw on Chris's hand for 4.5 minutes? If you're unaware, Gila monster bites are quite painful, so you would immediately want to remove your hand. However, they have a jaw on them, so it may not be as simple. You may have to use a credit card, a knife, or really anything to pry their mouth off. So it's possible that they tried to remove the Gila monster but were unsuccessful, although none of that is contained in the report. It's also possible that Chris was suffering from a condition predating the Gila monster biting him. This is speculation. At the hospital, Chris was placed on life support and suffered multiple seizures and acute respiratory failure. He was later pronounced dead 4 days later. Possible reason. Chris's autopsy revealed he had a pre-existing heart and liver condition and a history of substance abuse that may have exacerbated the venom's potency. This is important because the only other case of an adult dying from a Gila bite in the U.S. occurred in the 1930s, and that individual had a condition of the liver. And as for these record-breaking lizards, the Colorado Department of Natural Resources sent the lizards to reptile gardens outside Rapid City, South Dakota. 26 spiders of different species, legally obtained, were also taken from the home to a nearby animal shelter. So, what do you think? Did Chris make any major mistakes? Or is the Gila monster scarier than we think? Is his name Monster totally real? Like, is he a true monster? Let's see what you think. Leave a comment and let me know. Bye!